Morning, guys.
Good
Wow,
morning.
it's like you guys are on early and on time. Congratulations and thank you so much.
Wow, thank you.
Hmm.
I say thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right. You're driving. Where are you going?
Just took my friend to the airport.
Okay. Is your friend with you in the car?
No, she left. I
Oh,
just
okay.
dropped her off.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, I guess we'll get started. Did anybody get a chance to take a look at the ebook I sent?
Yeah,
I read the first few pages.
What are some impression?
Uh, the book promised a lot of things, so I have to read it to see if it's true.
Uh, don't worry about the promise, but anything about and did you get anything out of the ideas about our own life, our own energy, and things like that?
No, it had a few first page. It's not going so deep into it, so I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
It's just like, I
I,
know after reading you this book, you will be this, you will be that. I'm like, okay, cool.
okay. Yeah. At some point, we'll give us, after some time, take time to read it when you get a chance. We may practice. I think we'll at some point we'll practice the stuff that's in that book. But after we practice the 30-day gratitude, okay.
Okay.
Um, um, Other than that, any thing you guys want to share? Any lesson, impression that you remember from Wednesday?
um,
Right, sure.
We talked about mentality on Wednesday. Okay.
yeah, the person rich in mentalities, you're able to change this, or depending on the circumstances, you're able to maintain the different states of yeah, the different energies, if you want to call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
magnanimity and serenity, and yeah, the most basic should be honoring gratitude, which I can't even seem to level myself to that basic level.
If you can't be grateful, just be
Yeah,
serene.
yeah,
Right? Think about it. Okay. So if you cannot feel emotionally touched and moved, and if you're not there yet, then just be balanced about it.
balance. Yeah,
Be magnanimous about it too.
yeah.
You see that? So the trap is that yeah, I want to be grateful. I know that being grateful give me positive energy. The positive energy is going to attract positive things in my life, and I can't feel it. And so I'm start to blame myself. I start to berate myself. I start to go down and down and down and down and down. And so you immediately switch to being magnanimous. Okay, there's stuff that's going on in my mind, my desire, in my imagination. I desire to be emotional. I'm imagining things, I'm thinking things in words and in images, but I'm not attached to it. Then in that instantaneous moment, you protect yourself, right? If you find yourself blaming yourself, then you can let it go. And if you can get
That
to yeah,
the focus, yeah, the main focus is not to let yourself go negative. I mean, if you see yourself go negative, rebalance yourself in the balanced state, and then try to go to the positive state. Yeah.
yeah, you're starting to get it, at least on the conceptual level.
Hmm.
That's good. That's good. Wayne, what about you? Have you been able to practice any of the, principle that we talked about?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very grateful every day.
Okay, very good.
Um, I just got really sick probably 2 days ago.
Yikes.
Cold,
I
flu, sick of what? What kind of sickness?
well, having a suddenly I didn't feel good. I have a migraine or something, and then I
Mm.
start vomiting, so I have to go home from work. Um,
You okay today?
yeah, my coworker came and gave me fluid, and I was well, and I was working yesterday.
You get an IV?
Yeah.
That's a benefit of being a nurse. You can give yourself an IV. Sometimes all you need is just fluid and electrolyte. Just balance yourself, right? See,
Yeah.
oftentimes when our body goes out of balance, that's when we manifest illnesses and disease, right? On a physical level, on a emotional and a spiritual level as well. When we are out of balance with ourselves, we tend to manifest problems. And so
Yeah.
this philosophy is all about getting back to that state of wholeness, getting back to the state of balance, and getting back to taking ownership of our own life. Right? Speaking of ownership,
Yeah.
there's a word. Oh, let me share the screen.
Say that again.
I'm going to share the screen.
Okay.
There's a concept of mastery, or just simply master. When you think about the word master, what's the master? Mhm.
Be good at be really good at doing something.
Yeah, be really good at doing something from the root word. Okay, from a sort of a root word perspective, the concept of master is ownership. Hmm. It's about ownership. Okay. All right. Not only ownership, and but there is a sense of responsibility. So if you're master of a business, if you're an owner of business, when you own a business, you take full and complete responsibility for that business. All the all the expenses, all the income, all the permits, the entire operation, all the people involved, because you're the owner of a business, right? Do each of you owns some form of business, whether you self, you own any of you get the sense that you own something? Any of you own a
No.
business?
I used to be a landlord, so that's a kind of bad known business.
Yeah. And so you have to take full and complete responsibility over your land, your property.
Yeah,
Do you guys currently own your house?
I don't. My mom does, but yeah, she owns
Okay.
it.
Okay. What about you? And when do you own a property? Do you rent it out or anything like that? Is that what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all get the sense of ownership. When we own something, we get the sense that we, a master of it. My house. Yeah, it's my house. I occupy the house, or I don't occupy the house. It is my house, and I'm responsibility for its wholeness. I'm responsible for its function, for its usefulness, its significance, and its usefulness, and we have a very clear reason for its existence. Right? Um, what about ownership of our inner being? Right? Up to now, have we got the sense that we are the owner of this vessel, which is the body, the mind, the emotion, and our spirit? Because to own it, or to be master of it, to be the master of our inner being, master over our emotion, our mind, our spirit, is to possess it and to be completely responsible for it. So where are you guys in terms of your ownership and responsibility over your mind, your emotion, and your spirit?
Like control now. I mean, it's honestly, it was always, we know it was there, but we never really put our attention to it, or we were never attentive to it, right? It seems to be fleeting at times, but now after the realization, you have control, so why don't you take control? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a realization there, huh? It's like being a house, but not so sure if we're inside the house or outside the house. If we are not a master of our mind, emotion, and spirit, if we're not an owner of this house, right? Consider the feeling of occupying a space, a house, and not being so sure if we own it, if we can do what we want with it, or if it's going to be taken away from us at any moment. Imagine what that feel like. Well, guess what? Most human beings kind of go around feeling like that with their mind, their emotion, and their spirit. Same thing with our body, right? Um, we get sick and we don't know why we get sick, right? And we don't know what it means to be healthy. So that means we have not achieved mastery over our health and our body just yet. Okay, so you can begin by just kind of contemplate the idea or the concept of mastery, or to be master, to be the owner. And one of the first principle, or the formula that we encounter in this philosophy, is the formula for the root cause of life. Remember? Formula, what does the formula for the root cause of life say? The root cause of life begins with
With me, with I.
me.
Yeah.
That's nothing more than a statement that saying this house is my house. This body is my body. This health condition status is my health condition and status. The relationship I have, it is my relationship. I own those relationships, and I'm responsible for those relationships. And similarly, my financial situation, right? I am the owner of my financial situation. I'm responsible for it. What about happiness or peace? Are we a master of our happiness and peace? Or do we let somebody else, say, hey, this is my happiness, this is my peace, please make it for me. Ah, have you ever you know, um, take your house and say, hey, this is my house, please, take care of it for me.
For a landlord, yeah, you hope people take care of it. Yeah.
You see, a person who does not take complete ownership and responsibility of their possession will tend to go away. They get damaged, right? If we honor, we make it yours. If we are grateful, we can create more. So our life condition, okay, our happiness, our peace, our well-being. If we let other people take care of it, then maybe you get it, maybe you won't. Because it's not their happiness. People they got their own happiness to deal with. So if our happiness is based on other people, if you do this, then I'll be happy. That's essentially saying my happiness, please take care of my happiness for me. You have transferred ownership of your happiness to another person. No mastery there, no responsibility there. Right? So at this moment, when you think about your life, your happiness, your peace, has ever has there been a time when you basically given it to other people and tell them that my happiness depend on your behavior. You do this so that I can be happy. You have to be this so that I can be happy.
That is in the past, but no more.
Ooh. Mm. Tell me about that. Is there a realization? Is there a point of transformation when that you make that switch?
Well, I had to make a really big switch in my life when I switched from Buddhism to Christianity.
Mm.
So I have been very grateful and at peace with myself ever since. So
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's a good thing. My mom was really sick and I was praying to God and I was desperate and then somehow it's not a cancerous tumor that she had. So then I was very grateful and then I finished school, got a degree, uh, went to work, I don't know, making new friendships, making real relationships. It's been so much better. I don't know. Just been grateful
Yeah,
for everything. No more miserable moments.
that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Nguyen. Today we're going to talk about the material expression of wisdom. Okay, material expression of wisdom. Okay, let's just real quick. Remember the causality formula. The seed give rise to the fruit. Okay, in between, there's a condition that affect how the fruit turn out. When it comes to the causality of wisdom, if we remember wisdom, the seed of wisdom is awareness. Okay, this is wisdom. Seed of wisdom is awareness, 5 level of awareness. The conditions is also the energy. Right? Remember the reality triangle.
Yep.
There's also the seed is the information, right? This is the information reality triangle. There's the energy and the material expression. The material expression. Okay. When it comes to wisdom, the energy is the three mentality. I'm just going to use mentality. The energy of wisdom is mentality. Okay. And then there are the material expression of wisdom. Now, when we think about wise people, okay, wise people, there is what makes a person wise. One of the things that makes a person wise is simplicity. Anybody, do you guys have anybody in your life, or have you met anybody, or have you read anybody that you consider wise? And if you're fortunate enough to have in your life, or have you studied about a person that you would consider a wise person? Can you think of somebody in your life that you think is wise? A
You?
person of wisdom? Me? No. I'm just a student trying to figure things out, and I just happen to have been exposed to this philosophy just a little bit ahead of you guys, so I'm just sharing it back. So I'm not wise just yet. But have you ever met a person who, really wise, and then maybe they say something and they did something, and you really feel like they're really wise? Well, one of the material expression of wisdom or the character of a wise person is simplicity. A wise person has the ability to simplify things in life. Right? Life seems to be complicated, right? Before we encounter wisdom, before we study this philosophy, we have so many problems. So many problems. And many people, spend most of their life just chasing problems. But upon encountering the philosophy that we have here, which has been taught by basically wise people, we call the wise or the sages, we have been able to simplify all of life's problem, all of life's problem, into only 4 areas. The areas of our inner being, the areas of our health, the areas of our relationship, and the area of our um, material wealth. All of life's problem revolves around that. Can you can you identify a problem in life that does not fall into one of those 4 areas? Our inner being, which is mind, emotion, and spirit, our health, physical and mental health, relationship, spousal relationship, children relationship, co-worker, business partners, and financial wealth, right? So instead of thinking of life being so complicated, now we know that whenever we run into a problem, we got a headache, with nausea, that's something wrong with our physical health. But that physical health is interrelated to our mental health, right? If our mental health, usually stress, right? Nowadays, what is the cause of the cause. What's the cause of death that is most prevalent in today's, world? What is the number one cause of premature death? When you're in the medical world, what is the cause of premature death in today's world?
I don't know.
Let's
Heart
just say,
attack.
let's just say what are some of the most highest cause of death? Okay, just simplify it. What is the highest cause of death in today's world?
What do we say? Cancer?
Okay, you think cancer?
Mm, Heart attack.
Huh? Heart attack? Let do this. This is fun. Okay. Let me. We're gonna look it up. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen. Let me see if I can turn on the screen. I'm gonna do a.
Obesity.
Okay,
Or
yeah. We're gonna do a Google search. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see what. So you cancer. You said heart attack. You said obesity. Okay. What else?
uh,
Stress.
yeah, or non-stress actually. I know teachers die earlier than
Teachers die earlier.
yeah
Oh, okay.
when they retire.
Okay. Okay. Teacher die earlier when they retire. You said.
Yeah, because they don't
Okay.
have the stress to keep them going or something.
There's a reason for that. It's not that. It's not the stress
It's
that,
not the
that kills
stress,
them. It's
but
not the
yeah,
stress.
okay.
Yeah. Um, Let me see if I can get a screen. Okay. So let's see what Google has to say. Okay. What are the number one cause of premature death in today's world? Let's see what they say. The leading cause of premature
Heart disease.
is heart diseases. Okay. Let's go down to WHO, World Health Organization. Top 10. Top 10. We can see the screen, right? World Health Organization.
Yeah,
Top 10 causes of death. Number one,
heart
ischemic
disease.
heart diseases.
Mm,
Number
Mm.
two is COVID.
COVID.
Number three is stroke. Number four is chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases.
That's
Number five is lower respiratory. People, I
infection.
guess they get pneumonia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number six is tracheal bronchus, lung
Lung cancer.
cancer.
Mm,
Number seven, Alzheimer. Number eight, diabetes. Number nine, kidney. And number 10, tuberculosis.
causes.
Okay. So that was the question on what is the number one cause of premature death. Okay. So now I'm going to ask, what is the one cause of the cause? Cause of the cause. Let's see what they have to say. Cause of the causes. Okay, they don't know how to
Yeah.
they're not very good with getting the down to the root cause. They just went back to the causes.
Yeah. Or maybe
But
type root cause. What are the root
root
cause?
cause, what are the root causes? Let's see what they
Yeah,
have to say. Root
what
cause.
are number one root
Root
cause?
cause of the causes.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Oh, still didn't go it. Okay.
Yeah, let's try what ChatGPT had to say. What is the number one root cause of the cause of premature death in today? Okay, so that didn't get to the root cause.
It's
Okay,
still
that's
medical
why.
principles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still saying those tobacco, high blood pressure, poor diet, obesity, physical
Yeah.
activity, excessive. Okay, and it get complicated. Okay, in today's world, and especially in the health world, it gets very complicated. Okay, and So public health answer, chronic non-communicable diseases. Here we go. Here we go. Systems thinking answer. Chronic stress. Right? Why do people use tobacco? They
Because there's
stress.
stress.
Why do they have high blood pressure? Because they stress.
Stress.
Why do they eat poorly? Because they stress. Right? Why are why are COVID killing people? Not because there's something strange and deadly about COVID. It's just a bad flu.
It stresses the
But
body, right?
because the stress lowers our immunity, so we are susceptible to this nasty flu.
Mhm.
Poor sleep, poor hygiene, relationship problem. Why do people get divorced? Because of stress. They stress over what? Over what it means to love. They stress over their sexuality. They stress over finances. And so while the world is so confused about different causes of problems and death, we understand that it only boils down to 4 areas: our health, our relationship, our finances, and our inner being. When they are not out of alignment, we experience stress, right? Do we stress about our health? Yeah, we stress about our health. Do we stress about our relationship? We stress about relationship. We stress about finances. We stress about our finances. And they are interrelated, right? They're interrelated. Okay, just so we can remember our lesson. The reason oh, we got this one. So there's a reason why we're talking about our darkness here.
Yeah.
We're talking about darkness, but there's a reason. Make a point, right? Stress. When our health is in trouble, it is not just our health that is in trouble. It is usually because we are stressing over something, our relationship or our finances or something in our being, our inner being, okay, that is not in alignment. When our relationship is strained with our mother, our children, our spouses, our co-worker, it is usually because we're arguing about finances or we're arguing about something about our health or somewhere deep inside we're not aligned. When we're stressing about our finances, probably because somebody is sick, they need to spend money on their health or not making enough money, relationship disagreement in our inner being. And so we have been fortunate to encounter this knowledge where we realize that, oh, life is not all that simple and not all that difficult, not all that complicated. It's just 4 areas. We have just simplified all the problems of life into just 4 words. And any misalignment in those 4 areas gonna bring out stress and it will drag everything down. And while the world is chasing the removal of darkness, which is chasing the problems, right? If you get sick, find more medicine. Here, we offer only one solution. So instead of the complication of all the things that are out there, we simplify it, just bring in light. If you're suffering, pain and suffering in the area of your inner being, bring the light of serenity. Go back to balance. If you are angry with other people, your family member, right? If you have angry, if you're upset about somebody, you cannot remove the anger, bring in the light with the light of magnanimity. If you blame people, you can't stop yourself from blaming people, or you can't stop other people from blaming. You give them the source concept of honoring gratitude. you bring in the light. You see how we have just simplified everything? Yeah, just simplified everything. And that is one of the mark of a person of wisdom. They just have a way of simplifying everything. In fact, if you can take things that are complicated and you simplify it, then that makes you an expert. If you can take things that are complicated and you just simplify it, then that makes you an expert. So each of you are a professional in your field. And if you just simplify your work and you can help other people simplify their work, then that makes you an expert. Do you guys know the story about the engineer? There's an expert engineer. Well, there's a company, right? There's a factory. Okay, there's a factory that has a big machine, complicated machine that breaks down, and their mechanics and their engineers get together and they try to fix the problem. They can't seem to fix the problem, and one of the employees say, "Let me call the expert." And they call the expert, and this expert, this old guy, comes with his handbag of tools, and he examines this giant machine that is broken down. He looks at it, he looks at it, he looks at it. And while they have, while the engineers have drawn up blueprints and then all kinds of solutions that they couldn't fix the problem, the engineer pull out a hammer and bang on the machine, go bing, and the machine comes to life. And then the engineer goes away and he sends a bill for $10,000. And the boss, when he looked at the bill, he was surprised. He said, "Okay, what does this expert do for you guys?" And his employee reported, "Well, he came in with his handbag and he took a hammer and he banged on that spot." And the owner said, "What? That's all he did, and he charges $10,000. I need a breakdown. I need a itemized invoice." So the employee asked the engineer, the expert engineer, to send him an itemized invoice, and the engineer sends, banging on machine $1, and knowing where to bang
And then,
999,000.
yeah.
That makes him an expert.
Mhm.
To him, it was just a bang. Now imagine when you take your car, let's say you take your car to a mechanic, okay? One mechanic would say, wow, this is really complicated. It's going to take, 3 months. During that time, I have to order this part. I have to do that and do that. You're going to have to rent a car. You have to do that. Whereas another mechanic say, okay, this is kind of, this is simple. I can take care of it for you in, 3 hours. Just come back in 3 hours. It'll be done. The price will be the same, but who would you go to? The person who simplify it, or the person who make it seem really complicated and scare you. All right. So a wise person is a person who can simplify all of life's problems. Right. So each of you, you have your own job, your own business that you run. But if you complicate things, it takes a lot of energy out of you. That's where you get stress. So instead, you just simplify it. Right? So you can go back and consider all the things that you have to do and simplify it into step by step, into formulas, into principles, into laws. Here we learn to align ourselves with universal principles and natural law that governs the human life experience. Well, in your career, in your business, there are principles and laws that operate those business. If you understand the principles and the law, and then you align it, then the business becomes simple. Right? So the mark of a wise person, or the material expression of wisdom, is simplicity. This is not to say, there's an important to make. This is not to say that we only do the things that are simple. That's different. This is to simplify that which is complicated. Take wisdom to simplify that which is complicated. And a lot of that can be done with the right mentality. Okay. So the moment things get really complicated, okay, I'm overwhelmed with so many things to do, deadlines and projects and customer demand, children demand, spouse demand. How do you simplify it when all of those things come to you? Using mentality of emptiness. In the moment when crazy things come together and you feel overwhelmed, just initiate. I'm okay. I know I hear. I know I see. You borrow that raft. You float along that river until you get to a space of emptiness where you feel serene, peace. And you kind of let all the craziness die down. And in that space of emptiness, a solution will usually arise that is better than what you can come up when you're all riled up. That's why wise people are able to make good decisions. They have clarity that arise from the mentality of serenity. Life is not complicated when you have serenity. When you encounter people who disagree with you, okay, customers who are demanding, spouses and children who are causing you trouble, and life seems to be complicated. How am I going to deal with all of these complaining customers? Well, you switch over to the mentality of magnanimity. You understand that, people are just people, and they, whatever who they are, it doesn't affect us. And that allow us to get to a degree of balance as well. And so people themselves are also very simple. People are very simple. If you want to go a little deeper, human beings all have desire and imagination. Okay, so when a customer is complaining, and you immediately understand, okay, that's a human being, and a human being have desire and imagination. They desire only 5 things for wealth, which is wealth of resources or wealth of talent. They need a sense of, power and ability to do things and make things happen. They are desiring wealth. They also, if they're not desiring wealth, then they are desiring some form of thing, which is appearance of things. Right? And if they're not desiring wealth or form, then the sense of identity is being threatened. All right. So if you satisfy the sense of identity, the ego, or in a way that is appropriate, or they're hungry for consumption, that's a desire in imagination for eating, or they just want rest, which is a sense of peace of mind. They just want rest. They want simplicity. That's what our customers really want. They want simplicity. So human beings only desire 5 things. And you understand that, oh, that's pretty simple. You don't have to worry too much about the actual complaint when you understand that, okay, that complaint falls into these 5 categories, and you just help them satisfy those categories. Then you have just simplified all interaction with human beings. Once again, we're not picking the simple things to do. We are simplifying the complexities and making things simple. Right? You make the complex into simple things, And then that is the mark of the material expression of wisdom. And when you simplify things, okay, when you simplify things, do you think it's easy to be joyful? Easy to be happy? Right? Look at little babies. They're very joyful. Life is very simple for them. We only start to lose the joy when we start to complicate things. Right? The joy goes away when the complexity enter the house. Kind of like darkness and light. So another mark of a material expression of wisdom is joy. Okay. Another mark of a wise person is they're kind of joyful. They have this sort of balance, serenity about them. And when they do, see with the balance and serenity, when bad things happen, they're not affected by it because they're balanced. They're detached from their desire and imagination. It is the detachment from desire and imagination that allow a person to be at a state of balance, and they get to enjoy the benefit of serenity, inner peace. And when things that happen that does align with what they desire, then they get to be joyful. It is a state of balance and positively oriented state to be in when it comes to a person of wisdom or the material expression of wisdom. It is joy. Joy that arises from two sources. Anybody remember two sources of joy? One is from inner peace. And two is from the satisfaction of your desire. Desire for wealth, desire for form, desire for identity, for eating and resting. So at all time, we can be joyful. If nothing is happening, we're joyful because we're at peace. We have the mentality of honoring gratitude. So at any moment in time, any time of the day, we think about what we already have and we can be grateful for it, hence joy. So the practice of honoring gratitude is a powerful one because at any moment in time, you can take full and complete responsibility and mastery of your own joy, your own happiness by counting your blessing, by counting the things that we already have. So instead of focusing on what we don't have, we focus on what we do have. And the more we focus on what we do have, the more joy we will experience. And that is a person of wisdom. Now, instead of drowning ourselves in worry and fear about what we don't have, we put ourselves in a state of joy, enjoy, get it? Enjoy, enjoy life in a state of joy. And to do that, we are grateful for what we already have. So count your blessing. A person of wisdom are able to rotate to the energy of honoring gratitude, basically at will. Do you guys get that? When there's a problem with people, they hop on the raft and they float across the river. When they're no problem, then they count their blessings. And so they are always in a state of joy. Joy that arises from inner peace. Because we are already always having something. We are already always having something. So we can already always be joyful. You can enjoy life, be in the state of joy. Enjoy, okay? You see how simplifying things can make life more enjoying? Make life joyful? Simplicity helps give rise to joy. That's one way to remember it. Simplify things, simplify the problems, Okay, you simplify the problems, then you will realize that you have more than you ever need, and so you can afford to be very joyful. All right, count our blessing. The person of wisdom also have the material expression of trust. Material expression of trust. Remember that of the human natures, one of the human nature is the nature of belief. We believe things. Okay, let's review that a little bit. Trust. Oh, and let's just do the word belief. Pen is about to run out. As human being, we believe things. It's a human nature to believe things. If we believe things on a positive direction, that's called trust. If we believe things in a negative direction, we call that doubt. Notice that trust and doubt are both belief. Trust and doubt are both belief. You just happen to believe in a positive direction or negative direction. So if you let's say you're starting on a business venture. Okay, you say you tell your spouse, okay, I'm gonna do this business venture. It's gonna cost how much that, and we're gonna achieve that profit in the amount of time. And your spouse say that, okay, I trust that you can do it. That's the positive direction of belief. They believe you can do it, and they believe it in the direction that is positive, so it's trust. But if your spouse say, I doubt that you can do that. I don't believe you. But it turns out that it is not that they don't believe that we can't do it. What it's happening is that they believe that we cannot do it. Right? When somebody say, I doubt that you can do it, I don't believe you, it is not that they don't believe us. They actually believe that we cannot do it. So even though we use the word doubt, or even though we use the word don't believe, the human in our human mind, our conscious and our subconscious mind does not know how to process the word not. Our subconscious mind does not know how to process an absence of something. They don't know how to not believe. They only know how to believe, but they believe in a negative, undesirable. So with trust, it is the belief in a direction that aligned with, it's gonna shorten it, with desire. It is the belief that align with the desire. Yes, so this person has a desire um, that they're going to be able to succeed, that you're going to be able to succeed in your business venture. And so they believe that it aligns with the desire. But if they not aligned, with desire, then it's called doubt. In fact, when a person tells you that I don't believe that you will succeed in this business venture, what they are saying is that I don't want you to succeed in this venture. They're actually believing positively in the not in the they don't want you to They want you to fail, essentially. Yeah. Yeah. When they say, I don't believe you can succeed, they're actually saying that I want you to fail. Same thing with ourselves. I don't think I can do that. What you're really saying is that I want to fail because there's a payoff. There is some payoff. There is some payoff. What's the payoff for failing? See, we always want some benefit from for ourselves, right? So if we do a business venture, and there's the payoff is, we get more money, maybe freedom of time, freedom to travel, right? Money to buy things for our children, our spouse, our loved one. So that is what we desire. That is a desire, right? Desire for freedom, desire for form, which is beauty, right? If I have money, I can buy a new watch. That's our beauty. We take care of our form. Desire to buy a new house. That is a form. Desire for form, right? Arrangement of things. Desire for wealth of money or wealth of talent. With money, I can buy a new skill, a new coaching session. Okay. Or with money, I get a desire for identity. I get to be respected by my parent, by my spouse, by my coworker. Right? We desire when we go when we think about our goals and dreams. With money, I can go can buy a certain food that I want. See, it all revolves around the five desire. With money, I can go on a vacation. That is the desire for food.
We have got to the point where literally
Oops.
Sorry.
But here's the thing. There is a payoff for failing too. I want to fail because failing give me a sense of safety. Then I don't have the responsibility. It is actually a desire for rest. So there's a payoff for failing. I get to rest. I don't have to make an effort. If I fail, then I don't have responsibility. Then people won't expect too much of me. That is desire for identity. It is a different form of identity. An identity of being small and, not, not having a lot of accountability, but it is still a desire for a certain identity. To be small, to be taken care of. I'd rather be taken care of by a 9 to 5 job than to be a business owner. It is still a desire, but you desire to fail. You believe in alignment with your desire to fail so that you can continue to be small, so that you can continue to be, a child taken care of by a parent, an authoritative figure, a boss who pays you a wage, instead of being your own boss. Starting to see the power of belief. So, and our sense of esteem is derived from our belief. It just happens to be one is, even though we say it is not aligned with our desire, it is really aligned with our desire. We just happen to desire the small and the not so big thing. So, but a person of wisdom allows themselves to desire that which is good, that which is bigger, that which is more expansive. They desire growth as opposed to, the opposite of growth, whatever it is. And because they desire growth, they desire bigness, and they believe that the belief align with that desire, then they exhibit the character or the expression of trust. They trust in their desire, and they believe that they can accomplish it. right? So trust is a material expression of wisdom. A person of wisdom are able to trust because they understand human nature on a deeper level than a person who does not. They may not be able to put words into it in the way that we are doing it philosophically, conceptually, but they have that seed of awareness. Seed of awareness. Level 2. Root cause of life begin with me. So I can afford to desire bigger and better things, and I can believe that I can achieve bigger and better things. Because they have the awareness that the root cause of life begin with me. And with level 2 awareness come level 2 wisdom. They are able to invent mental images that align with their desire. A person who have no wisdom are not able to invent those images. In fact, they invent bad images that does not align with what they desire. All right, so it takes wisdom to be able to invent mental images that align with what they desire, and therefore they can believe in a positive direction, and they exhibit the material expression, which is called trust. Wise person. And whenever they encounter a mental image that is not desirable, immediately they activate the energy of the mentality of magnanimity. Okay, it's just mental images. I'm not attached to it. So they can get to a state of serenity and magnanimity very quickly. A person who has no wisdom is attached to the negative images, the fear, the anxiety, the stress. And it pulls them down and down and down. And the more they think about it, the worse it gets. And so their belief in what they don't want get very, very strong. And the negativity get very, very powerful. And after a while, they get deliberating, paralyzed. They can't do anything. No wisdom. But a wise person understand level 2, level 3 awareness. Okay, when bad mental images comes up, they just let it go. Yeah, it's just mental images. It's just, I know I'm hearing it. I know I'm seeing it. And then they let it go. If they can have level 3, then totally empty. They don't even experience any negativity. But most human beings are not level 3 awareness and wisdom yet. We're not at a level of perfect emptiness just yet. So we can initiate the energy of magnanimity. We are unattached to the negative images that comes up. We are quickly able to cycle through, okay, cyclic rotation, cycle through different mentality. And so they can trust the future or whatever that they do to be positive and desirable and to have a good outcome. And even if a person does not have a level 2 or level 3 awareness and wisdom, even if all they have is awareness of level 1, and they are wise enough to focus on the good instead of the bad. Yes, there may be many bad things and good things happening in life, but they focus on only the good. By focusing on only the good, they can trust that life is going to be good. And they are grateful for the good thing that they have. Even tiny little thing, everything in their life. From the food that they eat, to the clothes they wear, to the car they drive, to the parents and the children and the co-worker and the business partner that they have. And they are grateful for it. Even if all you have is just level 1 awareness. And you initiate the level 1 wisdom, honoring gratitude, then yeah, then you can, then it's very simple to be trusting. To be trusting. It is not a wise person, a trusting person is not a gullible person. Okay, gullibility have no wisdom. Gullibility is allowing your desire and imagination to be manipulated by another person. That is a person who's is attached to their to the desire and allowing the imagination to be manipulated by other people, so they're very gullible. But a wise person can trust in their own clarity, their own sound judgment, based on the principle of light, based on the mentality of serenity, magnanimity, and honoring gratitude. It takes wisdom to trust. It takes no wisdom to be gullible. Just as simplicity gives rise to joy, trust makes life light. And there is a sense of lightness about a person of wisdom. A sense of lightness. Okay, sense of lightness. Imagine you're a business owner and you don't trust anybody. You don't trust your employee to do the work right. And you have to basically micromanage everything. Right? After a while, do you think that's going to be pretty stressful? If you're a business owner and you cannot trust your employee to take care of the business. So it gets heavy, gets stressful after a while. I know there are business, Vietnamese community, there are a lot of nail salon. And I know there are some nail shop owner who cannot trust the employee to be honest with the money. So the owner has to be there 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, every freaking day. And they only trust themselves to, manage the money. They have no time for the family, no time for the education. They may have a lot of money, but they can't go anywhere with it. They can buy a big house, but they're spending most of the time at the shop. I know freedom because they can't trust. But on the other hand, a person who are able to trust the employee to do their work, to be honest with money, then they can enjoy life. Their work life, the business life can be very light. So they get the sense of lightness, the benefit of lightness in their life. But in order to trust the employee to do the work and to be honest with the money, then they have to have systems in place. Systems that are simplicity that are simple enough for the employees to follow and manage themselves and manage each other, right? They have to be able to simplify the complex. And if they are able to help the employee, enjoy their work, then they can trust the employee will be honest with the work. If they are able to teach the employee about causality, for example, if they can impart the knowledge of the root cause of life, begin with the self, and they can empower the employee to be responsible, take ownership of their work, then they can trust the employee to carry on the task without having to micromanage them, and then the work life, the business life can be very light. They can be free to travel the world with the money that they make. What about our children? What would life be like if we can trust our children to take care of themselves, whether they're in the home or in school, to take on responsibility and ownership of house chores, for example, then our family life can be a little bit more lighter, right? I don't have to do the laundry. My son does the laundry. Right? If we can trust our children, then our life will be lighter. If we can trust our spouse, right? Some people have spouses that travel far away on long business trips. And unfortunately, I have a sister whose first husband was not very trusting. Sad for him. He's always checking on her. He's always worrying about, what she's doing, her customer, the male customer, and so his life was terrible. And they couldn't stay together for very long because they couldn't trust each other. There's no magnanimity in that relationship. Their tolerance was very small. Right? There's no tolerance for the other person. No room, no space to hold the other person in your space. When you have no trust, low tolerance, low trust. And so your life is going to be very heavy, very stressful, no lightness. On the other hand, my wife has a friend whose husband goes on long business trip. This is get a little out there, but but she said that her husband goes on long business trip, and the wife, what she does is she gives him a box of condoms. She set a boundary. Whatever you do, I don't care what you do, don't bring any illness home. That's it.
That's very
So life
trusting.
is life. Okay. You do what you do on your own time. When you're
Wow.
home, I expect you to be home. When you're home, I expect you to be present, right? The three language, the three questions, important questions of life. Who's the most important? What's the most important time? What is the most important things to do? When you're on your business trip, you do what you want. But when you're home, I expect you to be present, be with me, to be present with me at this, in when we're together.
Mhm.
That's tolerance. That's magnanimity. She gives them a box of condom. As long as don't bring any disease home. Do you think her life is pretty light? She don't have to worry about what he does as long as he doesn't bring any disease home. That kind of freedom. That's freedom. Imagine our children. A parent who is always micromanaging the children. Have you done your homework yet? Have you taken a shower yet? Have you eaten? Where are you going? Whose friend are you with? When are you gonna be home? What party? All that micromanagement, that's gonna get very stressful after a while. But if you know how to set boundaries, okay, be home by this time. I don't care where you go, be home by this time. I don't care what you do, no drug, no, why not just set the boundaries, set rules, and then you can let them be, free to do whatever they want. When I was in college, I lived in a dorm, and my dorm leader is a senior, basically a senior student who is in charge of taking care of the other student. Different dorm, different leaders will have different set of rules, and my dorm leader only had one rule. He said, "There's only one rule. It's called the stupid rule." It's a stupid rule. It's really stupid, and the rule is don't do anything stupid. All of you are college students, you're smart enough to have gone through, past all of those exams in high school to get, to this prestigious college. You're smart enough. Don't do anything stupid that you would regret. Whether it's partying or whatever you do, as long as it's not stupid, doesn't threaten your education, doesn't threaten your life, doesn't threaten your well-being, your future, don't do anything stupid. He has simplified all the rules, the college dorm rules, into one rule. It's called a stupid rule. don't do anything stupid. And that was very freeing. And we didn't do anything stupid. And his life was light. He didn't have to manage any of the students. He just kind of went about his day, and he hang out and play games with us. That's our dorm leader when I was in college. Had the best time ever. So imagine what your life would be like if you have the material expression of lightness in it. Right? Imagine what life would be like if it was light. You don't have to worry, no stress. That it was so simple. That you have joy. That you can trust in people and trust in yourself. And if you have that, then you have the material expression of wisdom. And from the material expression of wisdom, the sages given us the following sort of formula, so to speak. You can call it the formula or whatever. They call the six golden words in action. Six golden words in action. If you want to be successful in life, in relationship, in money, in even your health, your inner being, anything, all you got to do is do the following six golden words. Okay? If we do anything, do it simply. Just do it simply. Simplify it. Don't make it complicated. Do it simply. Okay? If you can do it simply, then it's going to be simple to do it joyfully. Okay? Simplicity, joy. Remember the discussion on time, the awareness of time. Anybody remember the what are some key points when we talked about time? There are two things about time. There is an awareness of time. I'll review it since Sen looked like he's confused.
Yeah, I got confused there.
Okay, time. Let's just use green for time.
Awareness of time. Okay.
Okay. There's a benefit for doing things joyfully because there is the sense of time.
All right.
And then there's a value of time.
Okay, I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time
Later.
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the sense of time is that fast or slow. Yeah, fast or slow. Fast or slow. Okay. And the value is high or low. And it depends on in our inner state. Or our way of being, our state of being, okay? Our inner state. This is part of the human energetic structure, our energy. When our inner state is positive, our inner state is positive, time seems to be very fast. When our inner state is negative, time seems to drag on. Right? When we are joyful, when we're having fun, time seems to be flying. Time flies when you're having fun. Joy. Okay? But the thing is, even though time seems to be flying by, we get a lot of value out of it. We get a lot of things done. The quality of our time with our children, our family, our loved ones, even in our work, we get a lot of productivity out of it. Even in rest, when you rest with a high energy, but in inner state give rise to vibration, right? Remember vibration, yeah, vibrational frequency. Okay, vibrational frequency. So when our inner state is positive, we tend to get high vibration, and high vibration leads to this shift in time.
Yeah.
High vibration give you greater quality, give you greater value out of time. You get more things done, even rest. So when you rest, if you lie down to rest and you worry and anxiety and fear about the future and regret of the past, oh man, that night is not going to be very restful. That night's going to drag on. It'll feel long. Okay, feel long. The sense of time is going to be so slow, but we get no rest out of it. But if we lie down to rest, we lie down and we feel grateful for the day, grateful for the bed, and we put ourselves in a state of balance. In fact, when we put ourselves in a state of balance, not only do we feel good, but on a cellular level, on a microscopic molecular level, it has been shown that when we are in a state of balance, then the electrical, potential of our cell membrane is optimal for diffusion of water and electrolyte and nutrition, as well as toxic and waste removal. Our cell regenerate and refreshes itself and clean up our body much more efficient when we are in a state of balance and positively oriented. That is biological, that is physiological. That's why part of one of the reasons I sent you guys that book about the frequency thing. Okay, it is a physical phenomenon, and that is a material expression of our inner being. Our mental and spiritual health directly influence our physical health. Vibrational frequency, inner state. All right. So time and joy. Oh, yeah, that's why we talk about joy. Okay, joy is a positive inner state, a positive way of being that comes from a state of balance. Okay, it is peace, it is serenity, which is inner peace that gives rise to joy. It is a balanced and positively oriented state. So do it joyfully. In anything that we do, if we do it joyfully, time will go by really fast and we get a lot of productivity out of it. From exercise to doing your homework, your lesson impression realization, okay? If it just takes 90 seconds to 2 minutes to do it simply and do it joyfully. Next is the material expression is trust, okay? So do it trustingly. Once again, trust is a positive polarity of belief. So it is also a positive, it is a positive energy. There's a song that says, if you believe, there will be miracles. Right? If you believe, there will be miracles. If you do anything and you do it with trust, then you will definitely achieve result. No matter how big the project or the goal is, if we believe in it and we trust it, Then we plan for it because it takes trust in order to plan. You can't plan anything if you don't have a trust. You don't believe that it's going to happen, right? So if you can plan for it, if you can trust it and plan for it, then it's going to happen. So we can break down, SMART goals. You guys know about SMART goal, right? SMART. Set our goals and our objective, make it specific. Okay, be specific about what we want. Clear mental image. Goes back to the principle. Be measurable. Once again, clear mental image and clear source concept. A is attainable, right? Attainable. And R stands for relevant or realistic. Do you want to do things that are not relevant to your goals? And T is time bound. SMART goal. Okay, a smart person, a smart goal require trust. Do it trustingly. What's the last one? Lightly. Okay, do it with lightness. I'm not gonna say lightly. That's take things lightly. That's a different. Do it with lightness. Do it with the sense of lightness and ease that come from serenity. Okay, serenity. Ironically, and not ironically, but paradoxically, we can set a goal, but if we are attached to the end result, then it's gonna be heavy. It's like going fishing. You throw the line out with the bait out, and you're holding on to the rod really tightly. It's gonna be very stressful. You set the goal, then you kind of go through about it lightly. It'll come. You set a goal, and then you're just gonna do it simply, do it joyfully, do it trustingly, and then the result will come. But if you hold on to that end goal all day, really stressed about it, it's actually going to be harder to achieve that goal. That is one of the many, but it is really a paradox. The paradox is the truth that is, it's seemingly contradictory, but the truth. It is the law of cyclic rotation. We cannot set a goal, hold on to it tightly, and expect to get there without stress. So you set a goal, then you let it go and you go to work on the small step leading to it. We may have a big goal, it's a financially independent, millions of dollars. But each day we keep on thinking about the millions of dollars and we're looking at our bank account, the gap, the difference between where we are and where we're here, it's going to cause us to doubt, to not trust. Our reality versus our desire is so big that we're going to start to believe the undesirable part. And so we start to doubt. And our energy will go down. And when our energy goes down to negative, that is the seed that we plant. And we're going to reap the fruit of that. Or it's going to be very stressful. So that's why you want to do it with lightness. Set a goal, but let go of it and go work on the small step leading to that goal. And then you go back to reviewing your goals, daily or whatever, up to you. But lightness is an important part of achieving what we want, and it requires letting go. And then you reattach. You let go. You reattach. Cyclic rotation. Lightness. Okay. And in fact, if you can't do it with lightness, it's going to be impossible to do it consistently. So all successful people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing something. Hang on. Đơn giản vui vẻ tươi tươi. Đơn giản. Okay, yeah, okay. There's one more. Okay. One more. If you can't do it lightly, it's hard to be consistent. Gonna take so much energy. You'll be drained after a few times, it's gonna be drained by it. You have to do it lightly in order to do it consistently. In order to do it lightly, you need to trust, you need to be joyful, and you need to keep it simple. If a task is really complicated and it stresses you out and you don't believe that you can do it and you have no lightness, it's going to be difficult to be consistent. And so I'm very grateful that you guys, especially Sen, has been very consistent in showing up to the Zoom and follow through the program. So somewhere along the line, you have something that, you check some of the boxes. I think I sense, get a sense of joy. I get a sense of trust that you believe, you trust in the process, and then you're going to trust in the result, and you can do it simply, right? And there's some lightness in it. I can sense that, and that's why you can consistently show up to the Zoom. And with this, I'm inviting you guys to be more consistent in doing the lesson impression and realization. At the end of the class, just give it 90-second, 100-second of lesson impression realization via video and post it to the Telegram link. Right? And now you know how to do it. Just do it simply. Don't think too much about it. Do it joyfully. Even if you don't get any realization or impression, just review the lesson. Today I learned this and that. Frank talked about the 6 golden words in action. Just regurgitate it. And when you get used to regurgitating, at some point a light bulb will come up. And you're like, oh, I realized this happened. Okay. All my life I've been doing this. Oh, I get this. Oh, I have this new profound realization, and your life will change from that. Right? And that will, it be one, that's all you need to be successful. But to be really, really successful, to be really, really influential and impactful in your life, and to a point where you can move other people, you need this one.
Wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. When a person sees another person doing something wholeheartedly, that gets very inspiring. That's when you start to cause people to follow you. That's when you, whether you want to or not, will become a leader. Some of you may not identify yourself as a leader, but if all you do is do it simply, joyfully, trustingly, lightness, consistently, and you do it wholeheartedly, some people around you will start to notice, and they will start to follow you, and they will start to pour their resources in aiding you with your endeavor. When it comes to wholeheartedness, you can keep the following in mind. I might add a paper. What does it mean to be wholehearted in doing something? Okay, we'll simplify it. When we talk about heart, okay, it is passion. Anybody here passionate about something? Anybody? Do you have a passion for something, Sen?
Been always looking for that.
Looking for that? Okay. Looking for that.
What is my passion? That's been a question of my whole life.
There's an easier way to answer that.
Yes.
The word
Okay.
passion is, I think, it's a Latin or Greek, it's a Latin. The root of passion is to suffer. Interesting. My passion is my suffering. In other words, if I don't do this, I would suffer.
Okay.
A
Interesting. That's
person
an
who has a
interesting
passion for
concept.
somebody, you are passionate about, a spouse, for example. When you're
Mhm.
passionate in your romance, what that say is that if I am not satisfied, I would suffer,
I will suffer.
right? People who have a passion for world peace, they suffer when they don't see world peace. People who have a passion for race car, I watch Netflix F1 race car. When a race driver does not get to race a car, they suffer. The engineering team works on the supercar, and the supercar doesn't work, and they can't get to race. Oh boy, they suffer. When a parent look at their children, and the children aren't healthy, aren't happy, they're not getting the kind of grade in school, the parent suffer. When you have a spouse and your spouse is not happy, right, they're not thriving, we suffer. When we're running a business and the business is not making money, the employees are not happy, we suffer. So ironically, passion really comes from the need to satisfy that suffering. And of course, that suffering is nothing more than the desire and imagination for wealth, for form, for identity, for eating and resting. But it is at a degree and intensity that other people can feel it. And if you pursue that, right, if you pursue that to a degree wholeheartedly, right, it is an emotional thing, wholeheartedly, then people will start to sense it. And if your passion, that which make you suffer, okay, that which makes you suffer if you don't get to pursue, if you don't get to survive, if you don't get to survive, if you don't get to satisfy, if that passion is big enough, if that passion satisfy not only yourself, obviously it's going to satisfy your own need, but if that suffering satisfy the self, the family,
And the
the
society,
organization, exactly,
right? The society, right? Yeah.
exactly. Society, or if you want, you can use the word the world.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's bigger world. These are the four survival motivation or for debt of gratitude. Different energy. But if other people can get a sense that what you're doing satisfy not just yourself, but satisfy your family, your organization, and the world of which they belong, right? Other people, they belong in your family. They could belong in your organization, or they can belong in your world. And if your work are able to be expansive enough, if you're wholeheartedly expansive enough to benefit other people within this bigger circle, right? You can do it out of the sense of survival. The world is suffering, so I want the world to be at peace. That's a sense of survival. My family needs money, so I have to work harder to provide for the family. The organization has a certain need, so I have to work hard to provide for the organization. That is survival motivation. But now that we have learned about, but that survival motivation, that passion is kind of negative. It can bring a lot of stress. instead of survival motivation, you can bounce off from the platform of gratitude. You want to give back and pay it forward. I'm grateful to this family because they have given birth to me, they have fed me, they have clothed me, they have given me education. I'm giving back to the family by taking care of the people in the family, my parent, my children, my brothers and sisters, my aunts and uncle, my my nieces and nephew and cousin. Any of you here fortunate to have a family member who seem to take care of other people? Usually, a lot of family tend to have this one or two person who is really thriving, and then they take care of everybody else. They're the one who lend the money. They're the one who give us the connect us to the business, opportunity. They're the one who refer us to resources. They're the one who throw the party. They're the one who inviting. They're the one who give the gift. There's always somebody, that one individual who seems to be the expansive, the magnanimous individual who has that's big enough spirit to hold space for other people, whether in their home or their business or their entire life. My mom is that person. Same with my sister. When we get together, it's either my mom's house or my sister. We eat all the time. They love to cook, and we always get together because mom is the cooking or my sister is cooking. Whether it's Mother's Day or Father's Day, it's either mom plays or my sister's place. So they're very similar in that have a big magnanimous spirit that they can hold space for other people. And so if other people can sense your bigness, your heart, your big heart, that whatever you do, your action that you do, if it's focused and it benefits other people, then that what they get from you is a sense of mission. It is a mission. Okay. So it is a passion, it is a mission, it is a survival motivation. That is a mark of a successful person. If you have all three, then you will tend to make it big. Right? What that does, it makes you a magnetic person, an attractive person. Magnetism, a magnetic personality. If you have passion, if you have mission, if your motivation encompass other people, then that makes you a magnet for people. People will come into your life, into your business, into your project, into your endeavor, and they will offer support. They will offer to help. They will offer to give you money. They will offer to be your value asset, people who will carry on your mission. They will take up your passion. So if any of you here have a goal to be financially independent or financially free, you're going to need a lot of money. And in order to have a lot of money, you're going to need a lot of people. You have to be a leader. There's really no other way around it. It's principles and natural principles and universal law. You need people. And the 6 golden words in action, especially the last one, okay, doing things wholeheartedly, okay, give people a sense that you have a passion, give people a sense that you have a mission. And if your mission and your passion encompass the survival motivation of other people, people will come into your life, they will give you the support. It's not enough to declare I have a mission. People don't believe you if you say, "Oh, I have this to be my mission." No, you declare it through your action. You can create a big website and write down your mission, but it is the expression of that mission through your action that would draw people and draw resources, because ultimately, the people have different needs, okay? From the most basic need to survive, to safety needs, to building connection. A person who has passion, mission, and survival motivation of other people in mind will satisfy that highest need of an individual, which is a need to give. When you can express your passion, your mission, and your survival motivation that encompass other people, you tap into the other people's need to give. They will want to give to you. They will want to give you money so that you can carry on with your project and your goals and your dream. Because they see that your projects and your goals and your dream encompasses their goals and dream. But it begins with simplifying things. Don't complicate it. In fact, the more simple you do it, the more easily people can recognize it. Oh yeah, that guy seemed to do that same thing every day, over and over, day in, day out. He's doing the same thing, and he seemed to do it, very joyfully. Oh, that's a sense of passion right there. And that person seemed to do it, very lightly. Okay, more joy, more lightness, and they're consistent. And you build trust in other people, and they're really passionate about it, right? They're really passionate. They're really, what they're doing is really good for me, my family, my organization, and my world. I think I want to be part of that mission. I want to take up that path. And that's what wise people do. That's what successful people do. It's just these 6 golden words in action that repeated again and again and again, right? Consistently. That is the water droplet that will well down the stone. If you do it one time, nobody notice. Do it twice, nobody notice. But when you do it enough time, people will start to notice. Okay? 6 golden words in action. And so, to conclude today, the reason I talked about this is that the material expression that we have, we talked about mentality already. The wisdom, the light of wisdom is awareness. The light of mentality is the energy of wisdom. Okay, the energy of wisdom. We have 3 mentality. What we're doing today is we actually talked about character. It is the beginning of character. Character of joy, character of simplicity, character of trust. Okay. We'll talk more about character in the upcoming session. But notice this character builds a wall of relationship with people. Okay? Relationship with people. It is through people that you're gonna make those finances. Let's send it over to you guys. Lesson, impression, realization.
I mean, you know how the movie called Passion of Christ?
Mm-hmm.
It just matched to what you were talking about suffering.
Yeah.
Right?
He suffered so much, so intensely, that only in 3 years of teaching give rise to the biggest religion in the world for the next 2,000 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Mhm.
right? Jesus Christ only taught 3 years. The Buddha spent 50 years, 49 years.
Yeah.
But Christianity takes up 25% of world religion. I think 1.8 billion to 2 billion people.
Mhm.
It is through suffering. It is transformative suffering.
Yeah.
He didn't, he didn't suffer, for his own need, suffer for the well-being of other people. He wanted other people to feel peace, to have love, was willing to speak up against injustices, against hypocrisy.
Mhm.
Yes, and he was willing to incur the causality of a human life, incur the wrath, right? That's causality. It's always at work, okay? Jesus is considered God, God in human form, but because he's in human form, he is subjected to the law of the universe, including the law of causality. You plant bad seed, you're gonna get bad result. The bad seed in Jesus case is, he pissed off a lot of people. Hypocrites. He pissed off the kings and the priests and the powerful people of the day in order to spread a deeper message. Yes, he suffered the causality of it, and so he get to die on a cross because of the human causality. But at the same time, he also planted the seed of the kingdom of God based on love, based on magnanimity. Right? So when Peter asked him, should I forgive my people 7 times? He said, no, 70 times 7 times. But here we understand that if you forgive, that means you have already hurt yourself. So you can do yourself a favor and don't forgive.
Don't forget.
Not by not forgiving, but by being totally unattached to the bad things that people do, so we don't have the need to forgive. And because we don't have the need to forgive, we can afford to love people unconditionally, just as God loves human being unconditionally. So the story, between Christianity and Buddhism, there's a lot of um, connection there. You don't want to discount anything that is of use.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, that was my and yes, simply do, joyfully do, trustingly do, lightnessly do. Huh? All that will, yeah, if you can do that, it lead to consistency. And if you can consistently do, it shows that you have a passion for it. And yeah. So not only you go to the world, but the world will come to you. That's where I can get that from, yeah. Yeah,
There's
I see how all the connections now. Before it
good,
was just words, right?
good,
Okay,
good,
yeah,
good,
simply do, joyfully do, okay. But
good,
I see where
good,
all the connection comes now, yeah.
good.
And yeah,
Amazing.
it makes it more meaningfully to do it. Yeah. Well, that's
It Yeah, in the Bible, there's a saying. Few people understand it. This is, I'm speaking on a religious term. There's a saying
Mhm.
in the Bible. Saint Paul wrote a letter saying that when we were children, we think like children, we behave like children,
Yeah.
and when we grow up, we put childish things away. Okay, at first on one level, that's typical, right? Adult, we grow up. Um, but it also speaks to a deeper spiritual and religious, how do you say, spiritual and a religious way of being that really connect our life, and in terms of our awareness and maturity on a spiritual level. And it allows, when you understand it from a cyclic rotation, you will understand the connection between the Buddhist and the Christianity religion. Buddhism mostly focus on the self. They don't believe in God. Okay, the Buddhist philosophy in its core doesn't believe in a deity. Buddha was not a theist. He did not believe in a God. Later on, Buddhists, when it spread to China and in other country, they sort of deify the Buddha and they worship the Buddha and they pray to the Buddha. But Buddha never, uh, how do you say, never promoted praying. He always promoted taking responsibility for yourself. Root cause of life begin with myself. Understanding causality, it will help you manage your life, outcome of you want. At the same time, what I recognize here is that in order to get to that level of maturity and responsibility and mastery, that is a high level of maturity that a human being have to achieve in order to be fully and completely responsible for one's life. That is a ultimate level of maturity that we want to get to, where we are completely responsible for our life. However, spiritually speaking, most humanity are still like little babies. And as far as baby goes, little toddlers is concerned, in order for us to be safe, in order for us to receive what we need, to get the food that we need, to get the toy that we want, to get the clothing and the protection that we need, we rely on our parent. Right? Imagine telling a child to cross the street on his own. Do you really? Or imagine giving the key to your car to your 3-year-old. That would be irresponsible. So from a spiritual perspective, a spiritual maturity perspective, humanity still needs a higher power. We still need to pray. We still need to ask for help. And so it's okay to have a religion. Right? That is why many people will find Christianity to be very transformative. They pray, like in the case of Win, and they get the prayer answer, and it is a miraculous thing, and so they honor the religion. But my invitation for you is to both realize that, yes, we're a bunch of babies. We still need our parent. There are many things that we can't take care of ourselves yet. There are certain things that we want that is outside of our ability to achieve yet. So yes, pray. And because when we pray, we're good. We pray with faith. We pray with purity of heart, then we're gonna get it. Just like a child asks for food, and mom and dad will give it to them. But as a child grows up, at some point, like my son now, at breakfast, my son said, "I want some milk." I said, "You get your own milk. You're big enough to get your own milk." Right? So as a human being, in terms of our spirituality, on the one hand, yes, we should pray. On another hand, take responsibility for our own having. We want health, go get health. We want good relationship, study relationship. We want finances, study finances. Even for the well-being of our family members. If a family member has cancer, can we help them get cancer? On the one hand, we pray God to help us cure the cancer, but there are other ways that we ourselves could help them too, by helping them get to a state of serenity and inner peace, because what that does is it balances their inner being, balances their energy, balances their body, and so they can get over the cancer much quickly. The mind-body purification practice that I've been promoting, that is one good way to cure cancer too, done by people who take full and complete responsibility for their own inner being, their own body, their mental health. So maturity on a spiritual level is both taking responsibility and being able to do that for yourself. Even things like curing cancer. Imagine knowing how to cure cancer for yourself. That's beneficial source concept. If we don't know how to do it, then yeah, we pray. Okay, so we just kind of pray. Like a child doesn't know how to uh, a baby doesn't know how to open the refrigerator and pour milk. Then yes, ask your parent, ask God to give you milk. But when we're old enough and we know how to get milk, we get our own milk. If we're old enough and we know how to cure our own cancer, do that, and then help other people do that. Just as an individual in the family will grow up to be in a certain to a certain maturity level where not only do they bring their own milk, and they grow up to the level where they can bring in their own money, they pay their own rent, drive their own car, they no longer depending on parent for the little things. But we still depend on our parent for the wisdom if we understand that our parents have wisdom. So on a religious and spiritual level, same thing. We continue to pray, but we're also at the same time accumulate and acquire beneficial source concept about health, about relationship, about finances, so that we can take care of ourselves, take care of our family, take care of our organization, and take care of the world. You get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we realize that we are, in terms of spiritual maturity development, we're still babies. So it's a good idea to pray for guidance, for a higher power. But it's also a good idea to take things into our own hand and be mature about it and learn how to do it. And here we simplify the way to take full and complete mastery over our entire life. Do you get that, Nguyen? So my message for religious people, continue to
Yes.
pray, but at the same time, mature and take full and complete responsibility for your own life.
Yeah.
Most people cannot reconcile that. So that's so
Can you get him
so
a
sad.
fork like this?
Huh?
Yes. Just talking to Andrew.
Yeah, most people cannot reconcile Buddhism and Christianity as if they are two distinct and
This is Adam.
it's not. It's about maturity, different level of maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cannot reconcile the difference between, praying and doing your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Yeah. I guess for me, I've
Yeah.
never, I kind of neglected that part, praying for something higher. I always just counted on myself, or yeah.
That it's good that you have the sense that you are, taking responsibility for yourself.
Mhm.
But it's also very stressful, especially if we don't have that ability yet,
Yeah.
right? Especially when we're still working toward that, that stage of development where we can actually take responsibility. We're doing this in order to grow ourselves, to have that ability to take care of ourselves. But while we're doing it, we have parents that have created us. So take advantage of that too. Wisdom is being able to rotate different um, awareness and perspective when appropriate. When it's time to take things in our own hand, do it. But when things is so overwhelming, let go and let somebody hold our hand and walk us across the street. Right? Why insist on doing things yourself when there is a higher power? And we, even though Buddhism doesn't promote praying, but it does talk about wisdom level 4. Because when you are balanced and at peace, you're at wisdom level 3, then you can tap into a higher power. That is wisdom level 4. They won't say it. They won't say, pray to God. But if you set an intention, if you have an intention, I want this or I want that, and you let it go, and you put yourself to a level 3, awareness and wisdom, that is on a vibrational frequency closer to a higher vibrational frequency, and you can access it from the cloud, the universal cloud, or you can access it from your own subconscious, which is your total causality. That is a form of praying. By accessing a higher power, accessing knowledge and outcome that we do not have within our being, that is a way of accessing, higher being. Right? There are beings, spiritual beings that are higher power, higher knowledge and wisdom than we have. And if we are a vibrational match for that, then we can access what they have.
It's like,
So next Saturday, we're gonna start the gratitude challenge at 6 a.m., right? We agree 6 a.m. We'll go for an hour, then we'll have class, right? Okay. And then after that, we'll do it Saturday and Sunday. And then after that, on Monday, we will start at 4 a.m. So give you guys a week to get you mentally and physically ready. But Sunday is not too bad, right? Because it's not
not too bad for me. It's just
West Coast people. Okay. And we have this golden word in action. Okay. 4:30, just 4:30.
Yeah.
There's no need for any attachment. There's no need for anxiety and worries about it. Okay, we just simply set the alarm, get up, get in the Zoom, be here at 4:30 or 6 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. And we do it joyfully, we do it trustingly, we do it lightly or lightness. We do it consistently for 30 days. We do it wholeheartedly and see if our spirit will expand, see if it will infect other people around us. You guys have a great weekend.
You too.
Send me a recording.
You
Okay, send me a
too.
video recording, post it on the Telegram group.
Okay.
Lesson, impression, realization.
Well, I'm here. I'm sitting at the table.
Huh?
Oh no, she's probably talking to her son.
Oh,
Ready?
yeah.
Okay, send me a recording. See you guys on
Yeah.
Wednesday. Bye-bye.
All right. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.